It's so weird. Oh, now you can hear me. Wait, let me just check if everything was good. Yeah, now you can hear me. I don't know what happened. I legit don't know what happened. Had all the settings right. It just started working. Cool. Hey guys, Tower Climber here. Completely messed up my. Oh, okay. Now you can hear me. Again, I don't know what's happening. Uh, I'm hoping this doesn't become that much of an issue, but again, I have my faith in you guys that you'll tell me when my microphone stops working and isn't working or whatever. I have my chat right next to me, hopefully. That's staticked out. Oh, that's staticked out. Okay, but am I hearing? Okay. I can hear myself right now, and I feel fine. Your mic's reaching its end. Hopefully not. I mean, to be fair, this is not the most expensive mic in the world. I could probably get another mic that's better than this one nowadays, but I'm just kind of saving money. But yeah. I mean, this mic is good. This mic is a good cheap mic. If anyone, if you'd ever want a cheap alternative to a mic, this is a pretty good mic. That's pretty cheap to get, and if you just mess around with the settings a bit, it sounds fine. I've been using it to record my audio for probably a year now. Wow, that's time goes by. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop listening to myself. Cool, people are here now, and everything's cool, everything's fine. There are some technical difficulties, but hopefully those do not occur again at the end of this, during the stream. If they're static or if the mic cuts out, please tell me. I'll keep looking at my chat and everything will be cool. Just to miss your internally asking how you that sweet plant Fant lore. I love the Fantaminum lore. I really liked. Okay, so that's actually a great segue to start talking about last chapters. I loved the last chapters. I love the feeling of being on the second floor again. I liked Urek as the main character. I like his comparisons to Bomb. I think when the spin-off series ends, I'm going to try to see if I can make a comparison video between like Bomb versus Urek as main characters, and to see like their differences, their strength for both of them, like their weaknesses for both of them, that kind of stuff. I really like that, and like the Fantaminum lore was the highlight of last week's reaction to me, because it was so, every single panel we got with new Fantaminum lore. I hope we get more during this series than just that, because again, I kind of talked about at the end, it was kind of vague, some of the aspects to it, but I really very Star Wars like. Yeah, the dark versus the light battle, it is very Star Wars like, but I am a huge Star Wars nerd and fan, so I like it. You know, that's kind of like feeding blood to a vampire for me. So yeah, anyways, the Fantaminum stuff was great. Again, I hope we get more in the series than just that. I hope it's not only that. I'm sure they will, but let's yeah, I don't know what else. The last chapter we ended off with Urek winning the game of like basically up down hands, and yeah, it's kind of not sticking fully in my mind because I didn't react to a chapter last week. So we're reacting to both two chapters. I have to fix the thumbnail. I only have chapter 4, but it should be 4 and 5. But yeah, overall, Darth Pantaminum. Honestly, Pantaminum's name goes amazingly with Darth. I would definitely say Urek is making an interesting journey, though, through perspective with what we heard. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, it's correlating with what we heard, but it's still enjoyable. I think everything we got before of like his climb before was so vague that really it's not like, the only thing we really heard was his like power. We didn't hear about any of his friends that he made or anything like that. And I really do hope that a lot of his companions that he makes in the series return in the main story of Tower God as members of Wal Hai Song. I think that would be an amazing way to tie both of the series together and make it so like you can make it in a way to make people watch, read. I mean the Urek story, but not like make it like, oh, these guys can just be introduced to in the mainline story of Tower God as just people that were in Wal Hai Song. So you don't need to, but it'll just make it cooler. I think that's a cool way to for SAU to maybe spin it later on. But yeah, I'm interested to see a lot of things. I'm really interested to see like all these new aspects of the second floor. Hopefully we get a new test. We ended off on a cliffhanger of like the princess getting snatched up by the goat, I'm pretty sure, and she was about to be eaten. I wonder what she's gonna do, because I very much doubt that she's going to be taken out of the game that early. That'd be crazy. But yeah, what do you think about our kind of mysterious princess so far? I think she's cool. I want a name for her because I don't know. I'm only calling her a princess right now of Jihad because that's all we know her as. But I hope we get a name for her soon. It's interesting how she interacts. I think her interactions with Urek are very cool. I think all of them are fun and interesting. She very much made an impression by killing almost everyone in the first test. How do you feel about the power levels so far? And I'm guessing, yeah, in the series. I think it's fine. All the regulars feel like how the like regular strength, like the Tengri family member is stronger than everyone else, and the princess is stronger than the family, the Tengri family member. Not Elaine, Evelyn. Evelyn, what was her name? I think her name was Evelyn. So yeah, I think that's fine. Again, all the regulars feel weaker than rankers. That's fair. And then Urek, we knew Urek was a monster, and with this new lore making him a shining one, that makes him even more of a monster, apparently. We'll see how that pans out in the story. I hope it's more detailed than just being, oh, we're making him stronger. I really hope that this new shining one lore makes Urek different, not just stronger. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of like redundant because he's already the strongest. You know what I mean? He's already almost like, at least if not the strongest, like at least the second strongest in the towers current day, right? So like it kind of be redundant to make him just, oh, this new race because he's powerful, because just to make him more powerful. You know what I mean? But it'd be more like it. I hope it's more than just power. I hope it brings more lore, more things, more intrigue to the series than just it being a power thing. But overall, I like it so far. I think it's been consistent. I think they're being vague about if Urek is stronger than a ranker or something right now. I think he is. I think it's good that it's a mystery about how strong Urek really is so far. I do hope we get a payoff to that. But yeah, apparently Axis are not retcon according to SAU. That's cool. That's interesting. If Axis are not retconned, that's interesting. Maybe Axis are like interchangeably with like, you know, all these. Maybe Axis in the new lore just means like the strongest beings or something like that. Like they're the axis of the world, like they're the people that move the things along, the story along. It's not just like, oh, realistically all the lore in the old lore is the same. Yeah, I don't know, it'd be interesting. I want to see Urek first meet up with Yuhei. That's actually a really cool thing I didn't even think about. I was thinking about his meetup with Bakery Yoon and all this stuff. But yeah, Yuhei is a big part of Wal Hai Song, and he's like the personal butler of Urek. So I'd love to see how they meet. I think that'd be so cool. Actually, for some reason, I kind of think, maybe I'm wrong with this, but I think that maybe that guy in the, you know, like we saw all these shots of regulars in the second floor in the first test, that guy with like the blue vest and the black hair, now that I think about it, that guy kind of looks like Yohei. Maybe he's Yohei. who knows? I wonder Urek's creation is basically an anti-phantominum axis if you consider that old lore. I wonder how the Axis thing, if that's still a thing. Again, I'm completely fine if the Axis stuff is not a thing anymore. I think that's just fine. If it is still a thing, I'm also interested because I want to see how you can like mix everything together. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I want Urek's adventure to be different from Bomb's, but still be it still be somewhat paralleling him. I think that'd be a fun way to do it. But I think we talked about enough. I think we should just get into the chapters. I'll keep answering questions, and I'll keep interacting with you guys in the comments. But I think we should just start the thing off. Let me see if I'm on the right page before. I've already had so many technical difficulties today. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is... Yeah, cool. We're on chapter 4 of the Urek Mazino side story. We're starting off immediately from where we left off. Let's climb. Yep, Mazino style, 100%. I'm so interested. This series has me a lot very interested. And I really wonder how all these things come together. Again, I don't expect this princess to be taken out this early. I don't expect it. She's on the banner, for crying out loud. That'd be amazing if she was on the banner and then she got to take it out immediately. That'd be kind of that. That reminds me, I didn't read. Normally, what I do with series is that I see the anime first, like the first couple episodes of an anime, and then I get impatient and then I just read the manga to the anime. That's what I do with almost every series. So I did that with Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen was probably like 12 episodes in. I watched all 12 episodes. And, you know, like the intro with, not with the kid, with Junpei. Junpei was like in the intro. And then they took him out of the intro when he like wasn't around anymore. I was like, oh my god, you baited me so badly or whatever in the intro. I was like, there's no way nothing bad happens to him because he's in the intro. But yeah, that'd be funny, but I don't think that's the case here. Princess Aura versus the goat. I love your videos. Thank you. A princess of I'm gonna have an announcement at the end of the stream of what my next video is completely 100% gonna be. I already finished the recording session. I already finished the editing of the audio. I just have to do the visuals, and then it's gonna come out. I want it to come out next week. Again, no promises, but I have it done. I love the thumbnail I made for it, and I think it's a good video overall. A princess of Jihad got disqualified during the second test. That is just crazy to think about. And also I didn't mention this during like the little wrap up. I love this new font of the Urek Mazino story. I think it gives it its own like a unique vibe. Episode 4, the cuckoos. I'm just gonna say cuckoos. She gets grabbed. Mr. Goat. Wait, wow, yeah, the ranker's obviously surprised because she also didn't expect the Princess of Jihad. The thing about that is that you have to understand, the Princesses of Jihad are not just like, they're not just any other regular. Obviously, it's Urek and it's like Bomb's story. Like, obviously, we're following irregulars. Those are like the highest in the food chain. But right, like underneath irregulars are the Princesses of Jihad. Like they're above the 10 grade families and all that kind of stuff in terms of like people in the tower. So like for somebody, even rankers get surprised if like they fail at a certain thing, and you're kind of looked down upon if you fail as a princess because you're supposed to be like perfect or whatever. That's like kind of the idea. It looks like the blood splatter, which is cool. I definitely get more excited when a manga has been reading it's animated. Like, yeah, definitely. I normally wait for like a manga because that also means like more chapters have come out. So, because I am impatient, I don't like reading a manga that has only 5 chapters. I like reading it when it comes out in an anime. That means like there's like at least 60 chapters or something or more. So then I just read the rest of the 60 chapters. Jolt. Oh wait, Urek's face. I love the comedic faces in this store in this spin-off too. Like I've noticed it a little bit here and there, like the art, like SIU said that the art was gonna change, and I'm guessing this spin-off is like experimental. I'll look at that like from season 3, and I very much liked it. It feels like season 3, but it also feels like it has very much unique flavors that season 3 did not have. And the comedic panels, I love the comedic panels a lot more in this than in season 3. I think that's a big aspect. I can't even remember that many comedy panels in season 3, to be fair, honest with you. But I can remember a lot of them from like the chapter, like the first 2 chapters. Yeah, a princess is never meant to fail because they're like, yeah, they're like the best, the ultimate species of the tower or whatever. Yeah, the goat just immediately downs this the princess. That's crazy. What the? He just ate. Her name was Gisli. Yeah, Gisli. Yeah. I do remember it was Gisli because I was laughing because of the alternative of her name. One of the Jihad princesses. I do like the blood splatter. Another interesting thing I do like a lot is the very focused text. It makes I know who's talking. That was a big part of season 3 that I sometimes it was unclear who was actually speaking. This can't be happening. This person just yells. How did a princess of Jihad get devoured by Mr. Goat? Yeah, it's insane for a princess of Jihad to be out that early. It was more of a focused story without much time to breathe, not much time for those small moments. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's like the benefit of a climb focus series and like a test focus series. You have the tests, which are like brain racking and like all these things, but you also have these comedic moments, and that's why I love the beginning of season 2 so much with Team Sweet and Sour. It had so much comedy and so much character depth and interactions between those characters in between the tests, but it doesn't feel like filler because it's so good, right? And that's kind of like what I'm hoping this series gives me. Like, I love the test, but I love the downtime between tests too. And I think that works more than just like, I think not works better. It's more like, doing those types of moments in between like a big war. You know what I mean? I think that just works better overall. But yeah, that's my thoughts. The goat is out of control. Do something, Gisli. I wonder she's gonna bend the rules or something before even passing. I do love Mr. Goat. I think he's cool. It'd be interesting to see Mr. Goat fighting alongside Gisli. I think that would be cool. Kind of like Ren and his animals. The second test. Is this some kind of joke? I mean, has this ever happened before? She is a princess of Jihad, right? I thought these initial tests were basically a joke to the princesses. Does he realize, whisper, whisper, murmur, murmur, what he just did? Damn. Hey, what was that for? She would have been a perfect addition to our team. What else? Who else could you possibly want? That kid. This is interesting. My friends pointed this out to me, which I didn't even point out in my first reactions to the first 3 chapters. Because they were surprised that I didn't point this out. That this guy, we don't know his name yet. This dude with the X in his shirt has Mazino's, or like a very styled hat like Mazino wears nowadays. Like with the backwards thing. I didn't even notice that during the whole thing. I think I didn't mention it once. But yeah, and no one really pointed it out to me in the comments either, or the live stream. But yeah, this dude. So I don't know if that maybe that gives you death flags for this guy, which damn, yeah, but I did not notice that at all. That kid right over there. Yeah, it's even like the same like blue white hat. I didn't mention that at all, which It feels like something I would have mentioned, but I just didn't. Huh? That one who's obviously not trying to make eye contact with anyone just in case he gets picked. That certainly spells great things, right? Yeah. Yeah, as soon as my friend told me that, I'm like, oh, I think this kid's gonna die. I think this kid's dying in this series, but I could be wrong. Maybe he's not. Maybe he just gives Mazino his hat for some reason, but I don't know. I think he does die in this series, not because of that. But still, it's not like if you know a character dies, it's like how they die and how well it's executed. That's more of like what I care about, because we all knew when we watched the Trauma flashback, we all knew that Amazu was gonna die. Like, we all knew that something horrible was happening, and the one that was most likely to die was Amazu. But it was the way that SIU did it that was good, that was interesting, and had so much depth behind it. Just than it just being, oh, she died. I don't get it. Why would you want to? Why do you want some kind of scaredy cat? A weak scaredy cat. He reminds me of something. That's all. Reminds you of what? Interesting. That's the thing, is that we didn't see Urek interact with this kid at all, like throughout this entire first test. And I wonder what he sees in him that would make him want to like recruit him specifically. The real reason he recruited the kid. I like that hat. That'd be funny. But I don't think that's the thing. When I first got here, I caught a whiff of a very faint, salty smell. Oh, right. I don't think I pointed that out either. I don't know. I actually don't know who was talking at that point. But I guess now we got confirmation that it was Urek. Urek came into the floor test and he said something like, oh, I smell salt or something. And I saw that line and I was just like, whatever. I didn't think of anything of it. But interesting, it was Urek saying that about this kid. Okay. Very salty smell. I have a feeling it has something to do with that kid. Okay. Urek's operating on vibes here. To be fair, Urek is any team that has Urek on it becomes automatically the strongest team because they have Urek on it. So at that point, why not just operate on vibes alone? You know what I mean? If you have a good chemistry and Urek is the strongest, and he's the strongest no matter, like, your team automatically becomes the strongest. At least you're with cool people, you know what I mean? You can't be serious. That's the only reason you decided you didn't want the princess on your team? Some kind of gut feeling? I do like this guy too. They made him seem like a very background character, but I hope he shows up. Again, I hope he shows up as somebody like who's like in Walk Hike Song later in the main story. You didn't think he'd be strong or useful or anything? Nope. God, this can't be happening. Damn. Yeah, Urek is completely going off of vibes. By the way, what's this jihad you keep talking about? Oh, that's right. I didn't even process that. Yeah, Urek doesn't know anything. It's so weird because Urek is like kind of like the guy who knows everyone in the main story. Like, he knows all the family heads. He's like, hey, Gusting. Yeah, like, he's doing all these things like, hey, Gusting, hey, whatever. And like being chatty with all these like higher up people. Like, apparently he's like drinking buddies with one of the three lords in the lore or something. He knows all these higher up people that we don't know or something. Just because he's like the strongest. But yeah, he's just entered the tower. He doesn't know who Jihad is. Interesting. I wonder what his reaction to Jihad is going to be. Seriously? He doesn't even know what it means to be a princess of Jihad? Yeah, Urek only knows what he knows, and he knows squat about the tower. That's very true. It's very true. I didn't even put that together. Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't know. Damn, that's crazy. What does it mean to be a princess of Jihad? He's the king of this tower. I do like that's fun. I do like how it's not just like, oh, I mean, it'd be cool if we maybe get like a shot. We got a shot of Jihad and him explaining, oh, he's the king of the tower, all this stuff. But like, I think this is better. Just better to fill up time. He's the king of this tower. He's been ruling this place for a while, but he's originally from the outside. Interesting. I I wonder if it was ever mentioned by SAU if the tower inhabitants knew that the Tengrid families and Jihad came from the outside of the tower. I don't remember if that was common knowledge or not. Like, obviously now it is. Apparently this guy knows that he comes from the outside. But I wonder if that was a thing that it was mentioned before. Or if that's interesting. Because in my how I saw the timeline, just kind of stick with me here. How I saw the timeline was that Jihad came from the outside. All the people, he climbed it. He was the first one to climb the tower. He got there, and then he established the Jihad Empire. And then the people that came after him, like Urek, Enryu, and Pentaminum, those are the first people that they referred to as irregulars, because then regular became a thing after Jihad climbed the tower. You get what I mean? Like, regulars came first because Jihad climbed the tower, made the system, and then the people who came outside the tower after Jihad became the first irregulars, even though Jihad is also an irregular. I know if that doesn't really make that much sense. That's just kind of how I saw it in my head. But I guess, yeah, I guess SAU just, I mean, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I think that's interesting. I don't think it's bad or good. But I guess people just know that Jihad came from the outside of the tower as like a thing. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Also, yeah, Urek now is very much interested in Jihad because this is the first thing he knew about being from Urek's from the outside. He's been from the outside for a long time. He knows about the outside, and no one in the tower does. And he's like, oh, this is the first guy who probably knows something about the outside. I need to see him. That's so interesting. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Maybe you're right. Well, I think it depends on the region. Like, areas that live in normal kingdoms don't know Jihad stuff full backstory at all, and all that. Yeah, that's true. The tower is huge, so I know there are places. I know it's been completely stated by SAU that there are places in the tower that don't even know Jihad exists. Like, don't even know they're in the tower. That's how crazy the tower is and how big it is. I guess it just maybe depends on regions. I thought of it as breaking something trivial, as like, what is what? I guess, yeah. I think SU should have shown a bit more shock effect from the surroundings. It's not like people asking the definition or something, but Birkenbaum showed. Spares the basic things in the tower. Yeah, I guess all these things could be true. And I think the region thing makes the most sense to me. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Hey, goat, can you spit her back out? And the goat shakes his head. The goat's like, hell no, I already ate her. I really need to talk to this king or the tower or whatever he is. Damn. That's crazy. Now that all this stuff is being like established, I really do wonder what Urek's and Jihad's first interaction was. Like, you know what I mean? Because apparently I'm assuming he's talked to Jihad. He's talked to all the other family heads. All the family leaders. So I'm guessing he's talked to Jihad personally. I'm assuming, like, why wouldn't he? And I wonder how that conversation went, you know? I guess not. Damn it. How else am I supposed to find out where Pentaminum is and get the hell out of this place? Well, I do like that Urek is from the beginning focused on getting out of the tower and finding Pentaminum. I think that's a good way to take his character, because that's what he is in the beginning of the story. When we see him in the Zigna Flower arc, he just wants to get the hell out of the tower, and that's been his MO forever. Um, yeah, yeah. I think the region thing is the most possible. Um, okay. You're frustrated. Imagine how I feel. There's nothing we can do about it now. And I relate to this dude a lot actually. Imagine if you knew about all this stuff about the Princess of Jihad, and this dude just took out a Princess of Jihad. You'd be like, dude, we could have had her on our team. This could have been the easiest second floor in ever, right? The and yeah, I understand how frustrated this dude is. Oh well, I guess I'll just wait for the next test and recruit the one I got my eye on. Sure, I guess I have no choice but to trust your gut now. Um, what if the people who don't know about Jihad Empire don't know about it, is because they are regulars who come from floor 135 and higher and picked them to climb. Interesting. It also goes into perspective of like, can head on, Jihad sealed the tower or whatever, but does that apply to head on? Can head on not go above what Jihad sealed? I feel like he could. I feel like, why wouldn't he? Even if he sealed it, I don't think head on wouldn't be able to go above the 34th floor. I don't know. We don't have an answer for that. So maybe he could. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if he could do that. Sure, I guess I have no choice but trust your gut now. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. Don't chicken out. Okay, so the goat's doing the hand thing again. He puts the hands out. He flips them. They're both facing up. Why does it keep getting faster? It baited us twice this time? Damn, this dude. I mean, this chick. Never mind. This is not dude. This chick, is jacked. Let's see. This time, only 6 of you qualified. Interesting. Okay, Urek passed. Evelyn passed. This Pobedao dude passed. He's 100% Pobedao. Like, this girl passed. We get someone interesting. We get someone passed, but we don't see them. I wonder why we don't see them. Like, it's not like we're gonna know who they are, even if they show us. And this is the dude that I said looks like Yohei. Maybe he's Yohei or something. I don't think so, but he looks like him, so maybe he could be. It'd be fun if Yohei and Urek were like together from the second floor. Let's go. Yes, sir. Coming. See Evelyn in the background. This game is proving to be much more difficult than I thought. I haven't managed to get a single teammate yet. Isn't this only the second round? I mean, I guess she did take out her other opponent, like in the first round, kind of like showing how brutal the game could be. In the game of elimination, skill is the only thing that mattered, but trust is more important when it comes to forming a team. Yeah, definitely. And I think she eliminated any trust anyone could have for her after what she did. Yeah, that's... I don't think people from the 134th floor can go down. They can't. It's not like one of those things that may be out of the possibility, but it's never been implied by SOU. Yeah. Oh, and here I thought that girl was that girl was Yohei. Oh, the black girl? No. I was talking about this dude, the guy with the bang and the business suit. He just gives me Yohei vibes. Maybe Pentamnum is up there, and the recent manages the rest of the tower. That looks a bit like Bomb, but he may be imagining things. It kind of has a Bomb aesthetic. I read that. No matter how hard I try, I'll never get a team together if no one here trusts me with their lives. But how am I supposed to find someone like that? when we're all strangers who are competing against one another. It is very interesting how the floor of tests works. It's kind of like immediately pitting everyone against each other and then saying, hey, you guys that were just trying to kill each other, form teams, and you guys have to trust each other, but not fully trust each other so you can stab each other in the back. It just breeds distrust immediately, and that's kind of like, that's why, a little bit of a side tangent, I know, but this stream is going to be filled with side tangents anyway. That's kind of why I love the line from Bomb and Wang Nan when they had their talk in season 2, when Wang Nan said, this tower builds walls between people, which that is one of my like top 10 favorite Tower God lines. I'll always remember it, and I'll always remember that scene because it was so impactful and it's so true. Like, this tower breaks people. Like, we see that not only with the weakest people. It broke Nina in season 2. It broke Yoker in season 2, and it almost broke Wang Nan in season 2 because of all the crap that this tower makes people do. But it also breaks the strongest people in the tower. It broke Jihad. It broke Trauma. It broke Gusting. It broke everyone. And at the end of the day, the tower itself is like, not like the true villain of Tower God, but it's like very close to being, you know what I mean? It's like the tower itself is the thing that turns people horrible, because the tower itself is a horrible environment to be in. And it's cruel, and it's very, very bad. And that what makes Tower God so interesting to me. You got to learn the laws of the tower from the first floors, definitely. And the tower's laws are brutal. Autocorrect, I think Pentaminus on the floors, and head-on is scared to go up there. Interesting. 136th floor. Those walls may be built, but there are those who will break those walls down. Just a matter of who. Definitely, 100%. I think that's true, and I think that's why Bomb works as such a good main character, because Bomb also has these walls personally that he built against himself, you know what I mean? And he's trying to break those walls down one by one by one, and now with all this V stuff, it's even harder to do. And I think that's what makes Bomb such an amazing main character for Tower God. You reminded me I could have been imagining head on, but I could have hide Pentaminus. Interesting. I'll be looking at these comments definitely more in depth when we finish, but I won't be pausing every 5 seconds. Sorry about that. When we're all strangers who are competing against one another. Rue. Oh, so his name is Rue. Did we know that? I think maybe we didn't know that. I messed up again. Okay, so his name's Rue. No, I may be able to trust him, but I can't have some weakling on my team. There's no way. I do like Evelyn. I think Evelyn, besides Urek, is the best character so far. I wonder if that's going to change, if that opinion of mine's going to change. Hey, you. Hold on. Are they trying to get Rue on their team? She gulps. It's like I'm invisible. I'm also going to say this. I love them, instead of just being pure black borders, it's like black fading into another color so you know who's thinking or who's talking. I think that's an amazing decision, and that's something I kind of wanted in Tower God forever, because there's so many times where statements are made and you don't know who the heck is saying it, and you're just like, I think this is the person who's saying this, given the context, but I could be wrong. And sometimes I remember like hearing certain things in the anime and people say it and I'm like, I didn't think that guy said that or something like that. It's kind of like I'm invisible. No one's gonna go through the trouble of killing someone as weak as I am or try to get me on their team. I'll be disqualified at the end of this test with no choice but to return to the village on the hills beyond the pilgrims' mud flats, the place where those forsaken by the gods once fled. Okay, damn. Okay, let me read that all over again. To the village on the hills beyond the pilgrims' mud flats, the place where those forsaken by gods once fled. That's a crazy just sentence. All right, Rue, you got some immediately interesting lore about you. What are these mud flats? What are these places that where gods forsaken go? Interesting. Very interesting. Hey, you with that hat. He points out the hat. I think that's cute. I really like Evelyn as well. Yeah, I think he would use that invisible thing he did with Rachel. Oh, I forgot he did that. Yeah, Head-On did that. It goes to show how much they've grown once they finished this. Yeah. I would say Evelyn so far is my fave, but it's some strange lore. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna connect with everything, and I wonder what that entails. I can't really make predictions because I don't know anything about that. Hey, you with that hat. Please, there's no need to kill me. I'm possibly the weakest one here. I'm no threat to you. Man, he is short. Also, actually, maybe either he's short or Yerk's pretty tall. Yerk is like the same size as this dude, almost at least, and this guy seems pretty big. I'm probably the weakest one here. I'm no threat to you. Relax. I'm not here to kill you. I'd be worried if that too. Imagine the guy who just took out the princess comes to see you, and you're like, I don't want to die, dude. We want you on our team. Let's play. Oh, Evelyn stepped up and said that. Urek is surprised. Oh, we got the thumbnail I used for the video. That's fun. Evelyn. I thought that, yeah. Can't you see we got here before you? Wait your turn. Actually, I'm the one who requested it for a game with him first. All you did was call out to him. I guess that's fair. I don't know. I don't know how I would rule that. But I guess she did say, let's play. Come on, Rue, let's play. Seriously, that's not how this works. Hey, say something. There's no need to fight. Looks like we have a disagreement. Since both of your arguments are valid, I'm afraid I can't determine who goes first. Therefore, Rue gets the final say. I do? Absolutely. Which regular would you like to play with? You get Urek and Evelyn next to each other. I really appreciate your giving me a chance. But I want to be on Evelyn's team. Like, he just yells that. I like the background, all the hearts. I very much like Evelyn and Rue's dynamic so far. I liked it ever since we first saw both of them. But I really hope they become like a little duo in this story. Really? I'll keep both of my hands like this, I swear. It's not like I could see your movements even if I tried, but I trust you with my life. We're gonna ship it. Yeah. I was gonna say a funny thing is because it's always like a thing of like, oh, is Urek a simp or is he a Chad? And I'm like, I agree with Dr. Bonehead on this. He's 100% both. He's a Chad, but he's also just undeniably Urek is a simp 100%. But I like how Rue doesn't only have his hat, but he also has this the simp quality to him for Evelyn. It's very funny. You two already know each other? How could you be so confident with your choice after I walked right past you in the other round? If you're trying to disqualify me because you're upset about what happened earlier, don't even think about it. Your lies won't work on me. They bounce off each other really well, and all their dialogue is pretty realistic, and I like it a lot. Not at all. I genuinely want to be on your team. Besides, you're my only hope of passing this test. Why would I betray you? Fair. Honestly, that's a pretty fair argument. I just really like you, Evelyn. Damn. At least he's more forward about his feelings than Mazino is. At least words it better. At least than Mazino. Huh? Nice. Urek says nice. I love Evelyn's face. I love all these comedic panels. They're so great. Urek said nice. Rue saying all the nice things, the right things, yeah, 100%. Nice. I love that so much. Alright, let's go. We're done here. Yeah, I didn't realize they were a thing. Everyone's just stunned, locked. Just completely flabbergasted. I love this panel. Rue. I admire your courage. After all, I'm from one of the Tengrid families, which means you'll have to pass. Which means you have to pass through numerous obstacles before you can marry me. Marry you? I wasn't trying to imply anything like that. Damn, she went straight to marriage. She's like not even dating, straight to marriage. To be fair, damn, that's funny. To be fair, she doesn't have much competition in the tower, I guess. I mean, you kind of have to live life like it's the only chance you get when you're climbing the tower, even if you're from the Tengri families. I wonder also, just curious, because I don't know if we're gonna get this. We're probably gonna get this mentioned in the story. I wonder. She's from the Lopabia family, but the Lopabia family has like 20 branches or something. I wonder what branch she's from. Just interesting. I wonder if she's from a branch that we've seen in the story, or if she's from another branch that's not in the mainline story or something. That wasn't shown, at least in the mainline story. She puts her hands up. I'll keep my hands right here. You have to trust. You have my trust as well. And I think I'm also starting to like you a bit. She smiles. Evelyn. Thank you so much. This dude very much gives me, Rue gives me a lot of, he's kind of like, for me, I don't know why, his characterization gives me a lot of both Season 1 Bomb mixed with Season 1 Shibisu. Like, if they if you were to combine those two characters together, I think Rue is what you would get. And I think that's a very funny combination. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. Urek, gross. I really do hate couples. Speak for yourself, Urek, where you have like in your phone you have a girl, girl A, girl B, girl C, or something on his phone. God damn it, Urek. Well, it makes sense if you know which family she's from. I guess that's fair. Maybe this is who he's been trying to emulate all this time. When he tried to woo the princess. That's funny. Maybe Urek is trying to that's actually very cute. I actually like that headcanon a lot, that Urek is trying to thinks back to his second floor and thinks of Rue trying to woo Evelyn, and he's trying to do the same thing but for Garam, and Garam's just having none of it. That's really funny to me. How that regular from Chopin's team called? He reminds me of him. Rue reminds me of him. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Kanto. I think his name's Kanto or something like that. I do know who you're talking about. The guy with the horn in the back. the red horn in the back of his concho or concho or something like that. He has like a red horn in the back of his neck or something. I do remember him. It looks like your efforts to recruit a new teammate fell through. How would you feel about recruiting me then? Okay, we got somebody approaching Urek. Urek is surprised. Oh, interesting. It's somebody who passed. I guess you can do that. I guess somebody who passed can still go up to somebody else who passed. I guess there's no rule saying you can't. Who are you? My name is Neo. Oh, is this a dude? This could be a dude. I don't know if this is a dude or a girl. He's a very pretty dude if he's a dude. I guess he's a dude. His name's Neo. My name is Neo. I may be weaker than you. I do like his design though. I like it's very detailed. But I'm much stronger than the others. He sounds pretty confident. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure you could wipe the floor with most of the people here. Oh, so you get some respect from Urek about your strength. Interesting. The only thing is, I actually trusted that kid. But I couldn't say the same about you. I like that. Also, it's funny because Urek has no reason to have trusted Rue either. I mean, Rue wouldn't have, like... Rue couldn't even betray Urek if he wanted to. He's just that much weaker than him. He couldn't have done anything in the game to, like, do anything like that. But, still, you know what I mean? It's just really funny. The only thing is that I actually trusted that kid, but I can't say the same about you. Urek just trusted Rue purely off of vibes. And distrust this person purely off of vibes, too. While you're correct in assuming that I cannot be trusted, I can promise that I won't get in your way. I very much love the choice of blue for his eyes. Very much like that. He's very handsome. I think pretty dude. Okay. Alright, the guy who fails and picks the seeds in the anime. Oh, you're talking about Concho, yeah. Or Concho, I think it's something like that. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot that he got ate in the anime. He got eaten by the bull, but then still passed. That was so funny. He, like, died by the bull. And then he still passed the second floor in the anime, which is just... I love the anime. Like, I love the first season of the anime. Okay, I love the first season of the Tower God anime. I think it's still a good way for people to get into Tower Gods and then start reading the manga from season 1 again. Because there's so much they left out of the season 1 that you can just read the first season again. But they have moments like that I'm just like, oh my goodness, you guys just weren't trying in some of these points. I can promise that I won't get in your way. You're not the ones I'm after. Interesting. This dude gives me, Neo gives me very much Hansung vibes for some reason. I don't know, just because you can't trust him, but it doesn't seem like he's going to betray you, but you can't really trust him again. It's very faint, but now that I'm standing closer to him. Congratulations, you two are on a team. This is the best day of my life. No need to get so excited. I can smell the same salty scent that was coming from that kid Rue. So Neo also has this weird salty smell. Yeah, even after watching the anime, would 100% recommend reading season 1. 100%. The only reason I would recommend for somebody to watch the anime first instead of just completely reading the story first is because of what my personal experience was, where I think a few years before I saw the anime, I actually tried to get into season 1 of Tower of God, but I couldn't because of the art style. Not And now I love the season 1 art style. I think it's very charming, right? But you kind of have to get adjusted to that art style, right? But at the point, I didn't know how the series would then look, and I just didn't really want to wait until that happened. So I kind of left it off in like the second episode or something, and then of the webtoon. And then when the anime came out, I watched it. I fell in love with all the characters. And then I was like, okay, now I'm in love with all these characters. I like this. But I also know that they took a lot of stuff from the anime out. So I'm going to go back to read, because now the art style doesn't matter to me anymore, because I love these characters. And no matter what art style it is, I just want more content with these characters. So the only reason I would tell somebody to watch the anime and then read is because just to get to love these characters, and then read the manga. And then the art style is not gonna, if the art style is the thing that bothers you, then the art style won't matter to you, because you like these characters, and then you can just read it and then have amazing time, because season 1's still amazing to me. I think season 1's one of the most well-packed stories that SAU has made, even today. Neo is not Yohei. I guess my theory's sick. Definitely read it. Season 1 is amazing. Definitely, I do agree with reading season 1. I don't agree with watching the anime and then going to season 2. Mysterious guy has the same salty smell as Rue. Could this hermit place involve irregular somehow? They refer to something as God. What is your favorite arc of all time? I'm guessing you mean entire God. Oh, that's so tough. I kind of wanted to do a ranking arcs tier list one day. For Tower of God. I think that would just be fun. My favorite all-time arc in Tower of God. It's definitely in season 2. It's not the Hell Train. I think the Hell Train, I'm talking about the Joaquin part of the Hell Train. It's not Hell Train, but that's definitely like in my top 5, maybe. Workshop Battle is also very close. I think I have a soft spot in my heart also for Name Hunt Station. But I feel like if I were going to 100% pick, the thing is that like I have aspects that are my favorite things in other arcs. Like my favorite fight in All Attire God is Data Jihad versus Bomb. But the Hidden Floor arc is not my favorite arc. You know what I mean? Even if it has my favorite fight in it. I honestly think the beginning of season 2 is my favorite. Like with Team Sweet and Sour, I think that's just my favorite. Like with Lurker, Mule, I think it's a short story, but I think it's just amazing. I think you can even include the Urek introduction to that. Like the Team Sweet and Sour arc of the beginning of season 2, I think it's my favorite. I don't think I have any complaints about it, honestly. And that's why I was so upset when the anime butchered it, because I was like, this is my favorite material and you guys just butchered it, kind of. And it's just like, I don't like this. And that's why I was so passionate about not liking the season 2 anime, in my opinion, because they just cut out so much stuff that I loved. So yeah, good choice. I love that arc. Floor of Death. My thoughts of Floor of Death is complicated. I like Hell Joe as a design. I think he could have been better as a character. I like the Urek stuff and Garam stuff. I don't think Urek coming in as like a Deus Ex Machina is like a thing, because I do like his role in that story. And I like the beginning of the Floor of Death, like with all these mysteries, the Enacor and all these things. But I think the middle of the Floor of Death kind of gets boggled down, and kind of like you kind of have to wait a lot. But you also get a lot of good moments, like the Garam explanation to the bomb thing. But it's a lot of exposition. I know a lot of people don't like that. I liked it, but it wasn't like my favorite. Especially like how we know it's not all true. So it's like, it's weird. Floor of Death, I have a weird mixed feeling. Kind of the same thing for Last Station. I don't want to get into it. I'll get into it later. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked with the comments. But I like this. I feel like they completely ruined it. 100% in my opinions too. Um, I was immensely disappointed in season 3, in season 2. Yeah, I still watched it and through, and it improved in the workshop battle arc. Just man, was that rough. I still want to watch it again. I still want to watch it again, even if it's bad. I don't care. I just want to watch it and have my own opinions on it. I don't want my opinions to be dictated on what everyone in the internet says. I think that's how I want to consume all media throughout my life. If I hate it, I'm gonna hate it because I watched it and I gave my 100% clear review on something. But I wanna see if I also agree that like the workshop battle stuff gets better in season 2 anime. But I'll do that another day because I can't do that now. Fine, you can join my team. Let's focus on reading. Yeah, I'd never call the webtoon bad, especially season 2. I thought season 2 was saving all of its budget for the final, but it turns out they blew it. They already blew all their budget and the ending was so bad. And, well, again, I don't know. I've heard so many mixed opinions on like, has it gotten better? Did it get better? Did it not get better? I don't know. I'm gonna watch it for myself at some point, even if it's bad. Whatever, doesn't matter. It's bad. It's bad. That's how I think about it. If it gets a little bit better, but it's still not perfect. Whatever. It's not perfect, but it gets a little better. I just want to have my own opinion on it. I don't want my opinions to be dictated by what everyone else says. And I think that's how everyone should do things, honestly. Fine, if you want, if you you can join my team if you can follow my movements. Thank you. That's also smart of Urek. I'm sorry for pausing immediately after pausing for a while to get on a tangent. But it was fun anyway. That's also smart of Urek because he doesn't trust this person. If he tells this person, oh, I'm going to flip my hands this way, they can mess him up. And it screws him up. So he's not going to tell this person, oh, I'm going to flip my hands this way. He would have told that to Rue because he trusts Rue. But he's not doing that for Neo. He's just like, okay, you can join my team if you can follow my movements. I think that's fair. Thank you. I want to know more about this one, but obviously Urek is not going to intentionally like lose or intentionally whatever like to eliminate this dude like he did for the princess because he wants to know more about him. So he's probably going to go easy on him. Beep. Time's up, everyone. This marks the conclusion of our game. A total of 10 teams have been formed. So Neo, Urek, and we don't know this dude's name. I've heard a lot of people just calling him Guns N' Roses because of this shirt. Another detail I'm just not that into music in general. I know music, but I am like the least knowledgeable person about bands, artists, and all that kind of other stuff. I just don't know it that well. So when everyone was like, oh, this guy has a Guns N' Roses shirt, I was like, oh, does he? That's cool. But I just didn't know that when I was reading it the first time. Have been formed. The Pobedao dude, this insanely jacked not sumo wrestler, the like karate guy. Can I say girl? Anyone who doesn't want a team will be disqualified. Anyone who doesn't have a team will get disqualified. Rue, and I wonder who their third teammate is. They're not showing it in this panel, but I wonder who their third teammate is and if we're going to get any development for them. If you're lucky enough to have a team, you'll get to move on to the next test. Congratulations on passing the second test. You hear a massive bah from Mr. Goat. We did it. What the hell are you talking about? There are only 9 teams here. Interesting. There's again the beep, Mr. Goat. Yep, drip, drip. And we see a needle, and I'm pretty sure that's the same needle as the princess's. The death match inside the giant goat has ended. The remaining three survivors, the princess just annihilated everyone in here, will automatically become a team and qualify for the next test. Interesting. Cool. I wonder if that was a rule already set up beforehand, or if they changed the rule because the princess also got swallowed. I wonder. But I don't know. Mr. Gode, very well. The shirt is a nice choice, very funny. Yeah. Just didn't know it. I think you will cry about how bad it is, the anime. Damn. Maybe I will. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll just make one of those videos just being like, just crying, just being like, they messed up so bad. That'd be funny to make, but no, I don't know. Honestly, I crashed the fuck out during the synagogue arc with the anime. Yeah, I did see a little bit of the like clips from that. It didn't look good at all, which is very sad. Yeah, I think he has to sure give me the name. I want to go Guns N' Roses. Mr. Go ate very well. They formed their team during the second test. That's different from Tower God. Yeah, in Tower God, in the main story, they formed their teams during the first game. Like after they killed the half the people, then from those people, they had to like grab them or whatever and form a team there. It's interesting, but also it's this is the time before Evan Kell and Han Sung Yu and all this other stuff. So I expected there to be differences. Obviously, it'd be kind of. I like that there are differences in this story compared to the normal Tower of God. Will automatically become a team and qualify for the next test. I very much like her design. She also seems to be using Shinsu. Very interesting. Actually, very, very interesting because, I mean, we don't know if she's from one of the 10 Great Families. Maybe she is, but I guess that would make more sense if she was from one of the 10 Great Families, because we know it's kind of going in line with the video that I made, that I'm making. The families make contracts to use Shinsu from the moment they are born. Unlike all the people that climb the tower who are regulars, they have to make contracts on the second floor. So that's very interesting. So that she can use Shinsu. It seems like that's what it is. I very much like her eye. I was warned well in advance, but this ability is still nothing short of astonishing. I do like the purple aura. A princess who has the ability to possess. Interesting. Possess. Huh. Wait. If you upload your actions to YouTube, keep inside the judgment. Apparently, it's considered unsafe to react to something and download the contents of it. FYI. Don't worry. If I react to the anime, again, I'm going to react to it by myself. I don't want to do. I had to. The reason I stopped in the first release was because I didn't want to risk it. Honestly, I just did not want to risk it, and it didn't seem like there was much other. I mean, I could have kept going, but again, how it was going and how I was already feeling about it, I didn't want to risk it for something that I also thought that wasn't going in a good direction. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna risk it again. I'm just gonna watch it by myself. About the season 2 anime, yeah, I got that's what you're talking about. I don't believe we've ever heard that term before. Possessed. Yeah, I guess the closest thing to it is like souls and stuff like that. I wonder if that has any relation to it, because there's no 10 Great Families that would have, like, that's something standard for them, you know what I mean? Phew, it's a good thing I arranged for this death match in advance, Your Highness. I don't know what, so this was already a thing in advance. Interesting. I don't know what that regular was thinking. You have no idea how shocked I was when you went down Mr. Goat's throat. I trust you didn't meddle with the rules for my sake. Of course not. Remember, I said you'd only be disqualified. Yeah, I never said you'd be disqualified, only eaten. I have to go back to see if that's true. I feel like I don't know if that's true, actually. I feel like they definitely said disqualified before. But whatever. She looks to the side of her. Also, you only qualified for the next test. We value fairness above all else. If you manage to disqualify one of the regulars who passed it fair and square before the next test begins. Interesting. So they're like a temporary team. Like these 3 regulars who survived. They're like a temporary team, and they have to disqualify somebody in a real team for them to pass fully. Interesting. I kind of like that. It's not just as easy as doing this death match, and that is why I will be referring to you as cuckoos or cuckoos, whichever one. Since you'll have to kick someone out of their nest to survive. Oh yeah, that's right. These types of birds do that. They're very messed up how they do that. If you know about the birds, go ahead. That's fine with me. For the next test, I'm planning to disqualify that insolent man. I very much do like her design. I love the jihad hairpin. I think it's very simplistic, but I think that's one of the charms of the second floor, that all the designs are pretty simplistic compared to higher floors. Because they should be simplistic. They're beginning regulars, and then as they climb to the tower, then their designs can get more and more complex, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a good way to do it. And then when you become a ranker or high ranker, your design can get as busy as it wants, because it makes sense. You've been alive for years. Who dared to humiliate me? I'll make him regret rejecting my offer. That's what I like to hear. I like Gisli. She seems very goofy. Until the day he dies. Attention, all test directors. The second test has just concluded. A total of 30 regulars have qualified for the next test. Please get ready to greet them properly and invite them to proceed to the third test. The crown game. Oh shoot, the crown game. That's so fun. The crown game, that's sick. Again, like I said, I want there to be differences. And I kind of hope that in this crown game, it's different from the other crown game in the main story. Kind of like how the first test was a little different. But that's still hype. The crown game. I never thought I'd be hearing that again. But yeah, so it makes also sense when Lero also said that this will be the best crown game in history, implying that there were other crown games before. But this one's like a part of the main test. This isn't like a bonus test. The crown game in the first one was like a bonus test. You didn't really have to participate, but if you did participate, you can just keep climbing. Like you'd be immediately recognized as a regular, and they kind of did that because Rachel's team with Endorsi and Ghost killed everyone, right? So they kind of wanted them to keep climbing immediately because it was a failure on their part. But interesting. This is a crown game that's like part of the main tests. Very interesting. This should be fun. Let's go. I think his name was Don John or something. We got another person here. They may also be a test director. Or yeah, let's go. The regulars are waiting for us. Urek Mazino, the end. Okay, wow. This chapter, we talked a lot about this chapter. Not only about this chapter, but just in general. But I enjoyed my time fully with this. Okay, we're gonna get into chapter 5 now. I very much liked that chapter. I thought it was good. I loved Evelyn and Rue's relationship. I like the mysterious things with Rue and going on, and I like the twist. I like how they handled the twist of the princess not being gone. I think it makes sense, and I also like that it's not that simple. I like that she then needs to like go after someone else, which of course she wants to go after Urek, which is going to be very difficult for her to do. And then I liked it. It was a very good chapter, but I do like that I'm gonna react to 2 chapters because it felt like that chapter. I feel like I would have been satisfied with that chapter by itself, but I would have been left wanting more. So I hope this other chapter also kind of fills that want right now that I have to read more. It's time to see where this goes. The crown game with Urek. Once Urek gets the crown, this should be game over for everyone else. To be fair, Urek having the crown would not be the smart choice in that, because how the crown game works, the person with the crown needs to be sitting down. Although obviously it doesn't really matter. Urek would still be able to clear anyone even if he was sitting down. But it would be made more sense for maybe like the Guns N' Roses guy to sit on the throne and then Urek and Neo protect him. Because then, yeah, no one's doing anything to that team. As someone who's learned of the bird recently, thanks to a certain game, I only have to say this: bird up. An honorable mention, or shoot. Oh yeah, the princess might have one of the prettiest designs, and honorable mentions Tiara, Yurong, Amazu, and Rashut. Pretty respectable list there you got going on, Amir. Time to see where this goes. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. Oh, and you also said Adori. Very good lineup of great characters. Okay, Urek Mazino, episode 5, position training. Oh, we're gonna go over the positions. I wonder how they're gonna do this. I want more position stuff. That's so fun. Huh. I mean, we know Urek is a fisherman, but I wonder who is in what other position. I wonder if I can speculate now. Guns N' Roses, his position, I don't think fisherman, because he's already on the team with Urek. Maybe Spearbearer. Neo, he gave me Hansung vibes. I can either see him as a wave controller or a light bearer. Those are just like the vibes he's giving me. Rue, he gives me scout vibes. He like you know, like Shibisu, like I said earlier, he's like a mix of Shibisu and Bomb. Maybe scout. Evelyn, obviously, like, she's from the Lopobia family, she might be an anima, so maybe scout too. I don't know. Scout, or maybe she's also a fisherman. That's interesting. I don't know. That's like all the characters that I think about. The princesses, in my opinion, is kind of all the princesses we meet in the Tower God story are like fishermen. Even Mashini, like, her official position is like fisherman, even though she's mostly seen spear bearing. Position training. We see another shot of the mothership, which will later become Evankel's mothership. We also see another floating cruiser next to it. We see this floating dock, the dock for floating ships. We see this giant ship with this pool, these very luxurious places. Very interesting. Whoa, not too bad. Looks like our next test is gonna be on that bad boy. This is so cool. I've never been on a floating ship before. The inner tower is such an amazing place. I love the constant references of the inner tower and like the outer tower and all that kind of stuff. normally in the story we only either get like references to the middle area and stuff like that. At least in current Tower God. Yeah, but it's interesting. Like this guy said, it's my first time being on a floating ship before. It's interesting. Like maybe in the outer tower, they don't have that many floating ships. They just kind of like ride maybe, I don't know, cars or horses or something. I don't know. They ride something to get to place. Listen up, regulars. We get another floating platform here. Who the hell are they? Whoa, side shot. Who the hell are they? Okay, whoa. Oh, so these are the rankers, because we see, what's his name? I think it was Rahab or something like that. And then Donjon here, and Gisli. So these are the test directors. Interesting. Let me see if I can... Yeah, because these guys are going to be, except for the guy in the middle, who's basically the unsung of this story. He's gonna... the others are like gonna be the position leaders, the position teachers. I wonder if I can guess the positions of these guys too. Donjon, I'm just assuming completely because of how he looks. He's a fisherman. Gisli gives me scout vibes, like, you know, and for some reason animas give me a lot of scout vibes just in general, because maybe because that's of Ren, because Ren was a scout and an anima. She gives me wave controller vibes. This guy she gives me wave controller vibes. This guy gives me light bearer for some reason, like the electricity thing or something. And this guy spear bearer, maybe. Also, I just realized this dude's a whole canine person, a canine. Yeah, this dude's a canine beastkin. Interesting. He has a sick design. I think out of all these characters, I like Donjon's design, and Gisli's good too. But I kind of like his design the most. It's just kind of clean. I love his vest. I love his pipe. He reminds me of, if I were to compare him, obviously this character is not a dog, but with the pipe, he reminds me of Moro from Hunter x Hunter, with the giant pipe and stuff. Isn't that obvious? They're the test directors. This guy looks down. Again, like I said before, his design is very simplistic, but the mask is very cool. Like the rest of the design is very, very simplistic, but the mask does a lot for him. Spear bearer and fisherman. If you throw the spear like Rack, and you're a spear bearer. Interesting. If you fight with a spear in close range like Asensio, you're a fisherman, I think. Not necessarily. Rack threw his spear in the first test game, kind of. Am I still alive? I think I may be alive. Am I alive? I just saw a glitch. Yeah, I'm live. Sorry about that. I got a notification that I may not be alive anymore. Rack did throw his spear in the first game, but it's not really that consistent. Also, Asensio's position is also spear bearer. Like, I don't think he's a fisherman. He's just a spear bearer. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. But I think I mentioned it in my positions video, which I think still holds up pretty well. That a spear bearer has 3 categories. You can be a melee type spear bearer, a range type, and also a sniper type. So it's like Asensio is a melee type. Like, he's still a fish. He's still a spear bearer, but he uses his long spear to fight melee, like very close to the battlefield. But he still can throw his spear very well in a melee type of situation. And then a range type is like Rak, who can do both, who can fight and also throw his spear from a pretty good distance away. And then you get like the fobs, like the snipers, like they're just completely out of, not in the fight at all, and they're gonna snipe you from super far away. So there's like the basic 3 categories of spear bearer. Asensio is a spear bearer, just completely. I don't think he's a fisherman. Very interesting. Yeah. You had a second of lag and back. Okay, cool. It didn't last long. Cool. I like the John's design as well. I do like his design. It reminds me of, it gives me very much Chinese vibes, like the patterns. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Rahab. Okay. I'm Rahab, the test director, the head director of this test. You have earned the right to be here. Is he the boss of this whole place? By going through 2 brutal tests, you should all be proud of your abilities as you persevere through the other tests in your path. And now, you will be boarding on the cruiser class ship that is docked before you. So you can fly to several different locations in the floor of test for your oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. For your future test. God, I don't know why I just have like a lot of, I don't know why, I literally just been drinking water. I have like a lot of gas in my throat. That really hurt. In the floor test for your future test. Okay, so they're gonna go to different locations, kind of again how Bomb did. Like they did go to different locations for like the hide and seek game and for the final test. The Guardians test they did at the end. Once you pass this test, you will be administered at the ship's final destination. You will become true regulars and embark on a long, glorious journey of climbing the tower. Wealth, glory, power, strength, and the ultimate truth awaits. She clenches his fist. Go forth and seize the glory of walking the same path, like as King Jihad and the heads of the 10 great families. Man, this dude went out for a speech. He seemed very emotionless before, but now he's really going for it. There's a big yell from all the regulars, or most of them at least. Make sure to get a ticket at the gate before you board. Do not lose your ticket. We'll be checking for them at 12 o'clock every day. Okay? Form a single file line, please. You see Evelyn with her needle, which is very cool needle design. Everyone's walking forward. Urek sees something behind him. There are some weird fish. Is that the princess? In the mix. I think that's the princess. It looks like her hair color. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just somebody we don't know. They look like the princess. Like her. Yeah, like the hair color we got from her. The lobby of the cruise. Oh, wow. A lot of sparkling shining. Whoa. This is so cool. I've never seen anything like it before. It's pretty fancy, alright. I very much grown to like this dude. Again, I want a name for him because I keep calling him this dude or Guns N' Roses guy. A big yell of 30 regulars. Of 30 regulars, yeah. Very interesting. It's pretty fancy, alright. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard the cruise regulars. My name is Don John. and from here on forth, I'll be in charge as your test director. You'll be staying on this cruise and undergo your position training. Not this guy again. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. This Urek immediately started hating on this dude, which I find funny as hell. He just, for no reason at all, it started antagonizing this ranker, and just, I feel like just is gonna continue. That's why I also think it's gonna be fun if he is the fisherman teacher, because Yurek's gonna be a fisherman, and Yurek's just gonna have an excuse to bully this ranker this entire time. I think that's really funny. During the time you have in between your tests, you'll be trained according to your positions during this period. Oh, that's so cool. Wait a minute. I'm gonna zoom into this, because that's really cool. I mean, you can't really see it that well. Kind of. We actually got logos for the positions. Like, before we just had, like, people, you know, like silhouettes. Like the, I used them for my videos before, and most people should know what they are. They used them in the anime too. The positions had like these people that were like a woman for the wave controller, this guy with many eyes around him for the scout, kind of like that. But now we actually got logos for the positions. This box is definitely light bearer. This is the spear bearer, the spear right here. What's this one? These are a little more unclear. I think this one at the top is fisherman, and this one could be wave controller. It looks like waves, and I guess then this one will be a scout. Kind of looks like an eye. That's cool. I like that. I like that they actually have logos now. And a midterm evaluation will be conducted by the test director assigned to your position. I think the sun is a scout, and the sun. I think the box is scout, and the sun is light bearer. I immediately saw a box and just thought, oh, that's a lighthouse. You know what I mean? I don't know. The Urek hate is hilarious. I know you can't shout. I'll imagine you shout for Dajan. Sorry, again, yeah, it's in late at night. I can't really shout. I wish I could shout, but also my voice is killing me right now, so I kind of wouldn't probably shout either way. The left one of fisherman is defo the wave controller, and below that scout. Never mind. Okay, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I don't know if we're going to get a clearer shot. I just wanted to zoom in to look at them. By the test director assigned to your positions, those who receive high scores will get special benefits, and those given a failing grade will be disqualified regardless of the actual test results. So even if you pass all the tests, if you fail your precision test, you still fail. Interesting. I don't remember if that was also a thing that was in the original. I haven't read season 1 in a bit. I feel like I reread season 1 more than any other part of the story, but I just always keep forgetting little details about season 1. So they can disqualify us even if we pass the test. What even is a position? Yeah, Urek just doesn't know. I mean, the thing is that, yeah, Urek does just serve the same role as Bomb does. Like, he's the irregular, he's the guy who doesn't know anything about the tower, so he's just gonna keep asking the questions, and that will force other characters to explain things to him. Bomb, the same thing for Bomb. Bomb just didn't know. He kept asking, what's this, what's this? And then he said, which is, again, to SIU's credit, a very simple and effective way to introduce us to this world, because we as readers also don't know about your fantasy world, so have your main character also not know about your fantasy world and keep asking questions. So every single time that they're introduced to something new, so they can be explained it. which I think is a good storytelling method. But if you rely too much on it, obviously you can become a little bit like, oh, don't show, don't tell, or whatever. But it's still fun. I think it's still just fun in general to have that dynamic play out. Your position refers to your specific role within a team. They originate from the roles of the Tengri family. They originate from the roles of the heads of the great families took on while climbing the tower. Yeah, we knew that information. I don't know if they mentioned that in season 1 or if that was blog post information. It could be both. Honestly, at this point, I'm a little tired. I think it might be both. But I definitely know that's been stated for a fact because I also put that in my video about the positions of the in my channel. Urek questions that. Okay, so now we get the scout, and we also do see a clear image on the of the symbols which will represent. The scout is positioned near the front lines, observing enemy movements and stirring up the battlefield. I love this so much because, again, I made a whole video about the positions, going into so much detail, and yeah, this lore is, again, consistent to what I said, and I like how it is. The scout is positioned near the front lines, observing the enemy movements and stirring up the battlefield. I heard some people saying, oh, the scout and the fish and the light bearer are the same thing. It's like, no, they're not. They're completely supposed to be the opposite of each other. The scout is in the front lines, the light bearer is in the back lines. That's literally the whole thing. The light bearer is not supposed to be in the front. The scout is supposed to be the first one who goes first and gathers information before anyone else. That's why they're supposed to be very fit, very smart, and all this kind of stuff. And scouts are, like the head of the Ha family, Ha Yurin, was the first ever scout. She was the first ever scout in the tower, and that's what she did. She was the vanguard of the team. She went first, handled the enemies first, she gathered all the information she needed, relayed that back to the light bearer and everyone else on the team. I love that we're getting this. It's just fun to get this all over again. And again, we see this. I was right about the image, the little eye symbol thing being the icon for the scouts. The light bearer stays in the rear. The light bearer stays in the very rear so they can analyze the battle as a whole and issue commands. Yeah, I was right about the cube. Yeah. Immediately I thought about lighthouses with that cube. I just said that I just compared the scout and the light bearer. But yeah, the light bearer stays all the way in the back and they analyze the battle as a whole and issue commands. It's the command center of the team. There's no maximum count of each position during the test, it seems. No, not really. It doesn't really. I don't think they're like equalized or even or something. I think it just depends on how you performed in previous tests. I don't think there's ever going to be an example of a class being empty, you know what I mean? But I don't, there could be more fishermen and there could be like 5 fishermen and then like maybe 4 light bearers or something like that. It doesn't have to be 5, 5, 5. I don't think it matters at the end of the day, but I don't think there's ever been a case of one class not being filled. All the Haas have a bit of cleverness to them, despite their meatheadedness. That is true. I actually think Yuri is an amazing example of that. Yuri, I think I've mentioned this in other videos. I don't understand how people look at Yuri, how she fights, and think that, like the line from Jin Sung of like, oh, all the new Haas all they know is how to block attacks and use their tough bodies like meat shields or something. And then he said, oh, we in the Ha family are actually technicians, like they use Shinsu for very particular techniques. That's their thing. They use their strong body as an advantage, not as a crutch. And Yuri doesn't do that. Yuri doesn't use her body as a crutch. She is amazing in combat. She has weapons. She has varying Shinsu qualities. She doesn't just rush into battle without a plan. Sometimes she does, but most times she does have something else in mind. Like her battle with Tiara, her battle with Pedro, like a lot of her battles show her being analytical, even though she's stronger, or at least like has the tough body of Aha to maybe not be like that, but she still is. And I think, I don't know, I'm sorry I went on a rant, but you just said that, and man, I have so many issues when people say that kind of stuff. But no. Oh, you don't remember during season 1 there were a certain amount of each position being allowed to pass. No. Yeah, that's what you were talking about. I thought you meant like there was a certain amount of people allowed into a class. No, yeah. There's in season 1 there is only a limited amount, like only 2 light bearers were allowed to pass the class. I know what you're talking about now. Sorry, I completely misunderstood what you were saying before. Yeah, only 2 light bearers were allowed to pass that class. I don't think they've mentioned that being a stipulation so far in this story, though. I think you're right about that. The light bearer stays in the back. Okay, we read this. The spear bearer works with the light bearer to eliminate enemies from a distance. Okay, yeah. The spear bearer, very underrated position. That's the position of my Tower God OC, who's the mascot of this channel. The spear bearer, very I have a soft. After making this channel, I have a very soft spot for the spear bearer. But my favorite position, for everyone who knows me, is 100% always will be the light bearer. That's why my mascot in this channel is a Tupari and a spear bearer and a light bearer, because he's from the Tupari family. He's a master of lighthouses, but he's a spear bearer because he uses guns and all that stuff. You know, I love my OC, my Tower God OC, and that's why I made him the mascot for my channel, because I'm just like, I love this dude. There's this funny design and backstory I made for him. The spear bearer works for the light bearer and to eliminate teams from a distance. The wave controller manipulations to the very foundation of the tower and strikes fear into the enemy with their overwhelming power. Yeah, we get confirmation that this is the logo of the wave controller. The position that, when allowed to do its job, is the deadliest. 100%. I do agree with that the spear bearer, when it works, it's the deadliest position, because think about it. It's basically like, what's more deadly? Somebody with a gun very close to you, or that you know where it is, or a sniper? Obviously a sniper, because you don't know where it is. They could kill you and take you out without you knowing, right? So it's like, that's 100% agree. The spear bearer is super underrated in that way. And then there's the fisherman who works alone. I like how the fisherman's the last one, because I think the fisherman was the first ever position talked about in the story. But it makes sense because, the main character, because the last position talked about in the original season 1 was wave controller, which made sense because Bomb was a wave controller. But now it's fisherman, because Urek is a fisherman. So it makes sense. That's a fun little parallel, again, between Bomb and Urek. And the fisherman is known as like the best of all positions, because it's like the strongest of the positions. Going wherever they're needed to reel in their enemies and hunt them. Very cool. Sniper is very deadly. Yeah. Damn. Um, okay, cool. I do very much like the symbol for fisherman. I like how it's an actual reel from a fisher, like from a fisherman, like line. I think that's a really cool design for the fisherman. Of course, there are many other positions out there, but those 5 are the most common ones. Oh, they mentioned the other positions. Yes, because I also did a video on all the extra positions of Tower of God, which there are more than the normal position, because there's only 5 main positions, but then I'm pretty sure there's 8, 7, 6, 6, something like that. 7. It's either 6, 7, or 8 extra positions, and they're guides, defenders, Wang Sosa, Dan Sosa. God, I forgot the name of the flame user. They're just flame users. Dan Sosa, Juan Sosa. I know Jan Sosa is electricity, and Huan Yamsa, I think Huan Yamsa is fire. And I think that's it. No. Am I missing something, guide? No, I think that's it. I think 6. So it's 6. Am I missing one? I think I'm missing one. I don't know. But yeah, those are the extra positions, and I think that's cool that they brought that up. And those are the 5 most common ones. It's interesting you don't know about this. You must be from a very remote village. I wanted to explain it to him. Oh, a remote village. Yeah, something like that. Interesting. Very funny. Karaka is a scout, but Karaka... That's the thing. Yeah, Juan Sosa. I said Juan Sosa. I said Dan Sosa. Juan Sosa. Juan Sosa is the perfect circle, the love one. Juan Sosa, Dan Sosa. Dan Sosa is the gravity manipulators, basically, like the ones that make Shinsu pressure more tough, right? Whatever. The electricity, the flames, guides, and then defenders. And I think that's it. I think there's only 6. Oh no, Anima. I forgot about Anima. Anima is the 7th one. Yes. How could I forget about Anima? I think for some reason I just completely blanked on Anima. But yeah, Anima is the one that I forgot. Even though that's been the most prevalent out of any other special position in season 3, is the Anima one, and I forgot about that one. Damn. Why do you think Karaka is a scout? Karaka is a scout, yes. Karaka is primarily a scout, but the thing about Karaka that's interesting, that I also mentioned in that video, actually, now that I think about it, is there are things in the tower called position hybrids. And that's different from just being able to use 2 positions, actually. I'll use the same example I used in the video. Han Sung-yu is a very skilled ranker who can use all 5 positions. He's very good at using all 5 positions. We've seen him use a lot of positions, even special positions, right? But he's only designated as a completely 100% wave controller because that's his best position in the tower. But a position hybrid is something like Karaka. He is a fisherman and scout hybrid, even though Karaka is very good at using Shinsu, so he could also be classified as a wave controller. He's not. He's only seen as a hybrid of fisherman and scout because he's a 100% perfect blend of those 2 positions. He's 100% a scout. 100% a scout and 100% a fisherman. Kind of like, you know how like in Nen you have the systems, like the 100%, 70% things for like you keep going down. Imagine that, but Karaka is 100% a fisherman and 100% a scout. Those are his pure 100%, and that's why he's known as a hybrid. Which is very interesting lore that we know about in the Tower of God story. And yeah, Karaka, that's in my opinion, even beyond fisherman, I think scout is is his best position because he, you know, he has his observer. He also has his eyes that are observers that look at everything. Karaka has all these darkness moves, which scouts are very good at. Like, you know how Quant turned like dark in season 1? Scouts love darkness, so Karaka is darkness. Also, Karaka can literally touch you and read your mind. Like, he can just tap you. Even if you're a corpse, apparently he can. If you're dead, he can touch you and he can still read your mind. Like, that's a very amazing scout ability that he has. Yeah, Karaka is a scout for all intents and purposes. He's a very, very good scout at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure Karaka established he's a scout in the early Floor of Death, albeit he lost to Mr. Finger, yes. Was wondering if you were counting that one as a common one. No, sorry. I just completely forgot about Anima. Sorry about that lesson about positions and all that kind of stuff. I just got really excited with this chapter talking about positions again because I think it's a very cool aspect of the story. I didn't know he could read minds. Yes, he could even read a dead person's mind, which is just insane. He did that to his Pedro, the old Hell Train conductor who Yuri killed. Pedro was dead, and then Karaka came into the thing, tapped his forehead, and then read his mind, and that's how he knew Yuri killed him, and that's why he was beefing with Yuri when he got out of the train in the name hunt station. Because he read Pedro's mind, even though Pedro was dead, which is crazy. But yeah, he was also gonna do that to, I think, Yura during the Floor of Death arc. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I make videos on this stuff, so I have to. I get just. It's not like I have the best memory. If you know me in real life, I have a horrible memory. Mostly for names, but I have a horrible memory. But just because this is like basically like what I do, like I make videos about this stuff, I remember this stuff. And I also watch my videos a lot to refresh myself on all these knowledge. So I'm not just like, I just very much like this story, and I read the wiki a lot and all this other stuff. So yep. Honestly, the mind reading might use the lingering shinsus of the bodies to read what happened. I could only imagine that's how that works. That's a very interesting point. Yeah, because we know that like shinsu kind of stays behind when you're dead or something. That's very interesting. Yeah. Now I'm going to introduce you to the test directors who will be assigned to each positions as your mentors. Baskerville, I love that name. Baskerville will be mentoring the wave controllers. Interesting. So this dude's the wave controller. What did I say earlier? I think I said Spear Bearer? No, but he's wave controller. That's cool. Again, giving me Morel vibes. You know how Morel had the pipe with the smoke? I wonder if he's somewhat like that. That's so cool. I also love his name, Baskerville. Freder will be assigned to the light bearers. I was right about this dude. I don't know why, the glasses and his like electricity vibes gave me like technician things. So yeah, I just assumed that he was a light bearer. Gisli will be mentoring the anima and the scouts. Interesting, they also mentioned the anima. I wonder how many other people are animas in this test out of the 30 people that are here. Because even Evelyn, we haven't seen her use like a Shinwei or something, even though she's from the Lopobia family. But yeah, Gisli is a scout. Okay. Heidi will be teaching the spear bearers. Interesting. Also, I like her name, Heidi. Heidi is the spear bearer instructor. Wow. I mean, really cool design, but not what I expected. Last but not least, the mentor for the fishermen will be me. Yeah. I wish I could shout, but this I can't shout. But yeah, this dude is constantly shouting all the time. Baskerville is best boy. I hope he is best boy because I love his design. I kind of really like his design. Well, considering the Lopapia just one so far, Heidi definitely my favorite design here. Interesting. I think my favorite design is either between. They're all actually I like all their designs to be honest. I think none of them are misses for me. But I think my favorite design is definitely Baskerville. I don't know why. He's the most simple out of all of them, but I just like his design. I don't think we get a lot of rankers who are beastkin like this. Like beastkin like in the way of like fully I mean not I don't know. Because he's not like he's a canine, but he's not like a canine lord like the humanoids with the canine features. He's a mutt. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, he's a mutt canine person. And he seems very prim and proper. I like him. I want to see him more. But I don't know who's gonna be a wave controller among our cast. The only one I could think about was Neo. Heidi has a very intricate design. I do like her spinning hair. I do like Dinja a lot, though. He's dapper AF and a smoking dog. Definitely. Okay. He said his own part the loudest. His voice is literally echoing off the walls. me. That's funny. Oh, this dude has a cool mask. He's not even going to say his name. Who knows? Maybe that's his actual. Oh, he didn't say his name. He just said me. That's funny. He's got too excited. Every regular has already been assigned to a position based on their individual skill sets. Look up here to confirm your position. Okay. We don't get like all the in season 1 we got like, to be fair, a very basic like font of Fisherman Spearbearer and all this stuff, and we just got the names of every regular, even the non-important ones. We got every single one, but it doesn't seem like we're doing that here. And find your mentor to receive your schedule. Looks like I'm a fisherman. Yeah. No, I'm a spear bearer. I was hoping we'd end up on the same position. Oh, he's a spear bearer. Oh, cool. I said he does give me fisherman vibes, but yeah, I think I also said spear bearer earlier for him too, if I'm not mistaken. I was hoping we'd end up having the same position. Also, what's his name? Again, we still haven't found out his name. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm a wave controller. Oh, Neo's a wave controller. I said light bearer or wave controller for him, so I think that makes sense. Cool. We all have different positions then. I think it's good to have some variety, especially since we're working together as a team. That's definitely fair, 100%. Right, that's a good point. Well, try your best to survive. We got this. I like this duo. I mean this trio. I don't know why. I just very much like it. I like Neo being a wild card of like, oh, can we not trust this dude? And then Guns N' Roses just being the optimist, kind of like the Rack of this, kind of like the dumb, a little bit more of the dumb one, of the more simple one, but he's still, fun. And then Urek being the cocky main character. I think that's a fun dynamic. I hope we get a lot more from this team. Training room for fishermen. Welcome, new fishermen. I think this chapter is very long. I don't know if I'm just reading it slow, but I feel like this chapter is very long. Once again, I am Dajon, the mentor for all fishermen on this cruise. Let's skip the useless crap. All you have to know is that fishermen have the best position in the tower. Of course, this dude does seem like a fisherman elitist, just because from his attitude. Um, Basically, you're the strongest regulars on the cruise. Understand? This girl interests me. Why is she a fisherman? I know we had a lot of weird characters that didn't seem like they're supposed to be their positions in season 1, but it's interesting that she's a fisherman. We got this blonde dude with his hands in his pocket. As you decided not to reveal names, maybe Baker Eunice there. Could be. I wonder. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think that'd be interesting, but I don't know. I still am iffy about if Baker Yoon's gonna show up in this series or not. I think it'd be interesting, be like after we finish the season. I don't know how long this series is gonna go on for. The spin-off series is gonna go for. If it goes for a long time, we might get like a time skip after the second floor, and then we're gonna meet Baker Yoon somewhere later in Urek's climb, because Baker Yoon and Urek met before Urek became a ranker. We know that for a fact because then Urek came down to meet Baker Yoon again when they were both rankers, and that's when he compressed the forest that Baker Yoon was in, and did that created Well Hike song basically. On this cruise, understand? That's why I will not tolerate any weaklings. His pure yelling makes the water part. Once again, as he says his name for the first time for the other regulars besides Urek. Interesting. Yeah. Any weaklings. We get a shot of them. The other positions will only be doing a brief orientation, but that's not enough. But that's not good enough for us fishermen. I'm going to weed out the weaklings hiding among you as soon as possible. Ready or not, I'll be putting you through an entry test today. If you fail, I'll boot you from the cruise myself. I definitely like Don John to be, oh, this dude's here. This dude who I'm having a fan theory right now is Yulche, or is it Yulche, or I don't know how to pronounce it now. Why do we get stuck with the old-fashioned weirdo? What is this, some kind of super secret society? This should be interesting. This dude who I'm suspecting is Yulche or something. This should be interesting. Let's get right to it. I just noticed that he was wearing only his boxers and a robe underneath. Come at me. Come at what? All of them are sweating. You didn't even explain the rules. I like that Don John a lot. Come at me, loser. Just come at me, losers. Dan John. Not Dan John calling them losers. That's so funny. I don't even care if that's not like accurate to the actual translation. I love that. I love that he calls them losers. I guess we have no other choice. Is he gonna fight everyone? I volunteer. I'll go first. Oh, interesting. This other dude volunteered before Urek. I don't like being, I don't like the feeling of being second. Sorry. Go for it, I guess. And so this blonde dude who was next to Urek, is gonna go first. Go for it, I guess. Alright, I like your spirit. Grab that loincloth before you enter the field, regular. Oh, you see this little stand with this blue loincloth, I guess. Loincloth. Looks more like a ribbon. Also, this dude is jacked. He took off his shirt. And yeah, this dude is also jacked. You'll probably remember when you see the name again. At least Quant attempted to be respected as a test admin, I guess. But like, Quant was also like, Quant is also a very sore loser. We see that with his thing with Blueberry, and also in the hidden the hide and seek test. Quant can be a very sore loser, and he's also a very childish person, to say the least. Looks more like a ribbon. It's moving by itself? What the? How am I supposed to walk like this? Enough whining. Come over here. This is super freaking embarrassing. He's just like waddling over. Put your hands right in there. Yes, grab it like that. That's it. Now you're ready. Or now we're ready. So are they gonna do like a sumo match? That's interesting. This is what a proper starting stance looks like. Hold on to your opponent's loincloth and straighten up. Make sure you're standing close together. Let the game begin. Gross. I don't want to touch that weirdo. I love that. I'm very much liking I'm sorry, I'm very tired. The dynamics going on so far in this story. I think they're all been funny and really good. Listen, regular, you better crouch and engage your legs. Engage your legs. Instead of standing like some arrogant brat. Or some insolent brat. If you think you're too good for that, you're going down. Danjon just flips this dude over. What? And then just slams this guy into the ground. Love the art for that. Love the use of red. Like red shading. If your back comes into contact with the Shinsu on the ground, you lose. I also like that panel. I guess that makes sense that rankers can toss people around like that. This dude is sweating. How is he so strong? Urek just does not seem impressed. Well, he just brushing off his hands. Who's next? Silent. What? Nobody wants to volunteer. Gotta have a serving of regular bullying for Danjon's ego. That's fair. I'm very much assuming that Danjon is also not using Shinsu for this test, because that'd be definitely cheating, even though, he's a ranker. No matter what, he's going to be stronger than these ranker regulars, but that's the only way this would make sense, you know what I mean? That Danjon is just using his pure physical strength with no enhancements, kind of like how Quant did for the test that he was part of. and that's the only reason that him and Dorsey even had like a fight in the first place. If Quant was able to use Shinsu, obviously it wouldn't be a fight at all, and Dorsey wouldn't have a chance. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm guessing that's the only reason this is even possible. What, nobody wants to volunteer? I said I'm fine. I understand you're terrified. I love this. Including the one who just went. The first 3 regulars to step up will be giving us second chance. Then I want to go then. Me too. Oh, this dude with the fox mask is here. Interesting. So we have blonde dude and the fox mask girl, Urek, the dude I think is Yolche, and then the blonde dude. So far we have 6 regulars in this class. Interesting. Huh. I guess I'll be waiting a bit more. Now want to join in? I refuse to fit into the rigid framework of society. You see, I'm allergic to rules and conformity. Alright. That's a crazy... Okay, this dude is super edgy. Even if he's not Jolche, this dude is very edgy. I think... But I feel like, you know what I mean? These Urek and this dude are here together. I think this might be Yolche. Like in his regular days. Maybe he was just super edgy in his regular days. That's great. No, another weirdo. I'm pretty sure there's 5 fishermen. No, there's the blonde dude. There's the blonde dude and the black hair dude, who I think is Yolche, Urek, girl, and then the fox guy. Wait, are there only 5? How did I get 7 before then? Are my weird? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess there are only 5. What? How did I get 7 before? Maybe I just repeated names. I don't know. I'm tired. Maybe I'm just gonna chalk it up to I'm tired. Okay. I also do like this panel though of Urek being like, oh god, another weirdo. The engine room of the cruise. Oh yeah, so it was the princess earlier with the cloak. I believe we managed to sneak in unnoticed, which means we have achieved our first goal. So these are the 3 that passed the death match. All the regulars were given a test. All the regulars were given a ticket upon boarding the cruise. Oh, so the ticket's how they're going to be determining this. If we can take a ticket from a regular and keep it past midnight, the ownership will be transferred to us, and we'll qualify for the next test. Interesting. So she's going to go after Urek's ticket. Now, let's gather and go after our respective targets. Yes, Your Highness. Go team, the girl. She's left alone. I heard that man Urek was assigned to the position of fisherman. His ticket will be mine. Before the clock strikes midnight. Very interesting. I wonder how this is going to pan out. Because I still think even if she doesn't, obviously she's not going to get Urek's ticket, but I feel like she's going to have to get someone's ticket to keep going, you know what I mean? So I wonder how this is going to pan out. Okay, so Danjon just drops these 2. Your previous numbers were 6, so even in that small moment you created another. Oh, okay. I guess that's not as bad as I thought. I thought I said 7 earlier. I may have just said somebody's name or something twice. like that. He knocked them out like they were. He knocked them out like they weighed nothing. To be fair, to let's be completely 100% fair. Even if Shinsu was not a thing in the tower, like even if there was no power system, look at Danjon, and then look at this girl. this I wouldn't be surprised. Like I understand you're in the tower, but like I wouldn't be this shocked. Like this dude is very shocked. Like he did that. I would not be shocked. This is like putting in like MMA fighter versus like a random girl you found off the street. So like, like let's take all the fantasy aspect out of it. This dude is just like 8 feet tall, super big and super jacked, and like has armor arms or something. So I don't know. He knocked it down like they weighed nothing. He didn't even budge no matter what I did. You're both useless. It felt like his feet were rooted in the Shinsu. Next. They wobble and limp. Someone's having fun. Why are you still in the field? Get out. I'm sorry, I'm trying, but I can't move my feet. Don't whine. There's no place for weaklings here. On your feet. Now. Here, let me help you. Urek comes to her little rescue. You. Urek just smiles. Yeah, Urek is gonna have fun bullying this ranker this entire time, isn't he? I'm just gonna get you up. You okay? Nice guy, Urek. At the end of the day, Urek's just a cool dude. I think that's the thing we know most about Urek. Like, out of anything, like, that's a good aspect of his character that I think has always been, like, there. He's just a good dude. He wants to get out of the tower. He wants to chase Pentaminum. He wants to have a relationship with Garam. All that stuff is good to know. And it's obviously important to his character. Not gonna say it's not. But at the end of the day, like, characterization, Urek's just a cool dude. Very bombastic, but a very cool dude. I'm fine, thanks. They walk away. Urek, I'm guessing Urek is putting on the cloth. Swish. Alright, it's my turn now. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ, Urek. I mean, he's wearing very baggy clothes, but oh my god, that's an 8-pack, damn. Urek is so big, and it always makes me laugh because, this is just how he's drawn nowadays. Very wide, but it just makes me laugh how in the beginning of season 2 we saw him and he was buff. Obviously he was very jacked, but he was like skinny buff. He was like very lean, and maybe it was obviously just probably the art style. Like if SAU could have made him more buff, he probably would have, or something. But during season 2, most times we saw him in season 2, he was very like lean but jacked. You know what I mean? But now they just made him jacked. And always tries to help those he sees in trouble too. Yeah, 100%. We saw that a lot in the Floor of Death arc with Hell Joe as well. As someone said, you can grind meat, cheese off of those. Yeah, 100%. God damn, Urek. It made me stop. 100%. This girl's looking at Urek. I wonder if she's gonna be more of an important character, because she's very unique to be in the fisherman position. Urek takes off his shoes. This one should be fun to take down. It's also an opportunity to see the strange power he used last time. So Urek wants to know more about Shinsu. Yeah. So Urek just steps up to Danjon. I very much have enjoyed their dynamic, and I wonder how far SAU's gonna play with it. Since you showed me the power you use in here. Oh, this might be one of the things that I got spoiled about. Like almost immediately as the series came out, like from the fans' translations or something. Dajon, there's a question mark. Let me show you. Yep, this full this energy just comes out of Urek. This golden, rumbling energy that just makes all the Shinsu in the area splash around and part. The one we use. Oh, that's a great panel of Urek. Wow, that's so detailed. The one we use outside the tower. Boom. Or doom. And then Urek Mazino to be continued. I'm gonna stay on that panel of Urek. I think that panel's amazing to end off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it on that panel and just leave it there. Wow, these 2 chapters were amazing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the lore. I loved the returning lore with the positions. I loved the explanations of the positions again. I loved the characterization of Evelyn, Rue. Again, all the other characters were fun and interesting. We got Rankers. We got that John, Haiti, all these other characters that again have good designs. I hope they do other stuff, and I hope that they're just cool. They're good designs, and I hope that they are more than just like the good designs, and they keep this up. They're overall great chapters, yeah. As I read ahead, it's pretty hype. I'm glad, and I hope it stays on this amazing train that we're going to go on with this story, because I'm very much enjoying my time with this story so far. But yeah, this is one of the things I get spoiled on. That Urek has this outside power or whatever, and everyone's like saying like blame everyone that was talking like commenting on my Jihad versus Urek shorts or something. Everyone was like, no, now Urek is stronger because Urek has the outside power and Shinsu and all this stuff, and he's like 100% stronger than Jihad. At the end of the day, to me, that does not matter at all. It's just cool that we have this new thing aspect that, yeah, Urek has outside powers. We don't know what it is. I'm hoping we get an explanation on what these are, because it seems like no one knows what they are, at least from the spoilers that I heard, that we still don't have that much information on them. I don't know if they still, because again, the series is like in chapter 20 or something. Can't wait to see how the others are doing in their test. Yeah, I hope we do get to see their test. That's something I wanted to bring up too. Thank you for reminding me. I hope we also get to see kind of like how Rak and Kun were in their separate test, and Bomb was also doing, like, I hope we get to see little flashes of what everyone else is doing in their tests, like the Spear Bearer test, the Light Bearer test, the Wave Controller test. I hope we get a little bit of that, at least, right? But yeah, overall, I don't know what else I could say that I haven't already said for these chapters. They're just really good, and unless somebody wants to ask a question, I don't really know what else to say. Like, they're really good. I like the lore that they're building up. I like the reintroduction of old lore. I think it was done very well. And I just liked how the characters were written. I like Urek. I like Urek being confident. I love Urek being Urek, to say it in a way. I love his dynamics with Danjon, and I love his and yeah, I just like this. I just like it. It's very good. And I think we're good with that. I'm not sure if there's any questions I can think of. We pretty much had the discussion during the chapter. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Although now I do want to say, because I did mention it earlier, I am going to give you guys, like, tell you guys what I'm going to, what my new mainline video is going to be. That's going to be coming out hopefully next week. Again, I finished the audio and the recording of it and the editing, the audio down. It's going to be actually a redo of a past video that I'd done. One of my first videos in my channel. It's going to be a deep dive, full-on, complete explanation on Shinsu, what it is, how it works in the tower, and everything like that. I decided, because that's one of my first videos I ever did in my channel, and to be honest with you, it's just not that good. I was very tired at the time, but I was just excited to make videos on my channel, so I decided to make it. But I was recording that on like no energy, right? And then, but I also did it like, you know, all my old videos were done with my camera, like my bad camera, so it wasn't done like how my new format is and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to make this new video with even more information, more streamlined information, and I like and I like it, and I very much love how it came out, and I'm super excited for you guys to see that one. And yeah, I mean, I guess I can actually show you guys the thumbnail I made. I'm not going to post it in my community post just because I don't think I need to. Let me actually show you guys the thumbnail I made for it, because I very much love the thumbnail I made for it. You know, one of the funniest things and one of the most fun things to do as just a creator or something, that I've learned is just making thumbnails. Thumbnails are very fun to make, especially the more you learn how to make them. But yeah, I don't know how actually to show you guys this thumbnail. I guess let me just actually download it, I guess, and then show it to you guys through the download, because I guess that's I guess I could, or I could just I guess I could also just show it through. Yeah, but I don't know how much that's gonna actually show you guys. Hopefully the princesses versus the Tangri family. I disagreed that the princesses would win. I like that video a lot. Although I will say that it was more of a, I wanted to do that video more from a storytelling standpoint than from like a whatever standpoint. But I think, I don't know. I don't know how I think about that video. I think, obviously I didn't say that the princesses will win 100% of the time. I just believe that if all the princesses with Anne, Jihad, and Idori would 100% win all 100% of the time, because that's two like top 7 princesses against, you know, like not those people. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I totally agree that the other version is more let me see. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's there, but like it's not gonna be as good as I want it to be. Maybe I can do this. No. Now I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do. Sorry. Maybe this is the way to do it, or maybe I'm completely mistaken. Is that I guess I just downloaded the way I normally download things for people to see in my like for me to put it and on my thing, but I guess that's not the best way to do it. I guess this way would be better to show. Sorry, I'm doing this just because I kind of want to show you guys this. because I very much like this thumbnail. Okay, maybe. Oh, wow. There you go. Actually, that works better. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can show it in a way that's not like that. Yeah, because it's too zoomed in for me. Whoa. Too zoomed out. Oh, wait. Maybe not only zoomed out, you can't see the... It's because of the way it's positioned. God damn it. Oh, well. I wish I could have shown it like better, but I guess I can't. It's... Man. Wanted to show it off, but I can't. Because if I would have had to literally crop this whole thing out and it would have... it doesn't matter. I just wasted all your guys' time. I'm sorry. I guess you can see it better from that angle, whatever. Let me take off the filter. Oh, man. You can see it through the... Oh, maybe there. Wait. Maybe you can see it through there. Oh my goodness, I can't. Oh, wait. Maybe this way I could do it. There we go. I think we hit the nail on the coffin. There we go. I could show it to you guys. Fighting for your life here, 100% I am. I'm so sorry. Here you go. Yeah, I just had to rearrange that whole mess. Sorry about that. What the heck just happened to my thing? Oh my goodness. Well, that's the thumbnail. Sorry for this whole mess of things. Well, whatever. I mean, I showed it at the end. At the end of the day, I ended up showing it, so I'm happy. But wow, that was so much more work than I needed to, and I think I'm gonna have to reset all my things now for the next stream. Whatever, it's gonna be next week. I'll do that at some point. I love that thumbnail though. That thumbnail is honestly one of my favorite thumbnails. Will you do more versus video in the future? 100%. I wanted to do the Killua versus Ran video next, but it just didn't pan out that way because of other things that I needed to do. And plus I wanted to get all that information straight. But yeah, I'll definitely do another Tower God versus video, like completely just Tower God. If it works, it's worth and great stream. Yeah, 100%. Cool. Looking forward to it. Fighting for yeah, with the versus video, I respect your opinion. I disagree with it. Okay, I think that's it. I think I read everything. I'm sorry, I am completely out of it today. There's been so many there has already been so many bad things going on in this stream. It's not my best stream, but you know, you always have it. You always have your bad days, but you know, happy you guys were here. Great conversations and amazing discussions all over, not just about these chapters, but in general. Have a wonderful night, guys. I'm gonna go get some rest because I am super tired, and hopefully you guys will get that mainline video next week. Yeah, but bye, guys.